Good evening, everybody. We are coming to you live from the Long Island Podcast Studio here on Long Island, along with Rob Landrew, Phil Freziello. I'm Anthony Dioria, and we are here today to break down the 2019 Golden State Wiffle Ball League Open National Championship this Saturday and Sunday, Patton Park, South Hamilton, Massachusetts. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
That doesn't sound very excited.
It's open weekend. It is open weekend.
Okay. Well,
Let's go.
It doesn't sound like it, but I am. Trust me.
Okay, good.
Trust
All
me.
right.
It's
so, we're going to be pretty much the same kind of flow we did for our regional podcast last week. And before we continue, I want to once again thank our producer, Joe Buscarino from Long Island Podcast Studio for having us in again. We are computer-less today, so I'm going to do some stat work. I'm going to attempt to do it. We're going to go through our matchups. Phil's going to give us some odds, some pick'ems, some who's going to win. I'm going to eat maybe later. I know you guys want to see that, but maybe. We'll see. I may or may not have brought a sandwich in the car that you guys didn't know about.
Sure.
We'll find out. Then we're going to open up the show to some calls. I know we have Animal up in Massachusetts that wants to make a phone call. I'm going to release the phone number in about 15, 20 minutes of whose phone we're going to use to have some calls. We'll have a lot of fun. This is our biggest event of the year. This is it. It's the national championship. This is what we're playing for, and we're excited. So, Phil, what do you think about, before we even get to the matchups, what would you say you're looking forward to the most about this weekend?
It's just a loaded top 16, more so than I think any other year previous.
I would agree with that. Before we get into the specific format, in previous years, the top 16 definitely has like a clear top half, bottom half. I would argue that we definitely don't have that this year, considering we have teams like the Enemy ranked 16th and the Lemonheads, who almost won several events in New York and made it to the regional semifinals, regional finals against your Hammerheads, and they're ranked 14th. So I think we got a lot of parity going on. What do you think, Rob?
There's a lot going on in this bracket. I think I don't want to slight all the people not in the 16 because this format allows a lot of different ways to get your team to Sunday. And by being in the top 16 doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make Sunday either. So my guess is there's going to be a couple of teams in that top 16 that think they have an easy road to Sunday because they're in this that aren't even going to make Sunday after they fall out of this bracket.
Wow. Hot takes from Bob. How about that?
Lower bracket has a lot of good teams. Plenty of good teams. State of Mind, usual suspects.
I agree. So
DK.
Like we have,
yeah.
as you can see on the board right here, here's our little bracket. We'll go through it in a little bit. So briefly, how the format's going to work is that first we have this top 16 bracket, and this top 16 is based on standings from the year. The regional winners are at the top, followed by teams that won super qualifiers, followed by teams how many points they accumulated, getting to 16. Everybody else who did not make to 16 is starting in the wild card tournament, which is essentially going to be pool play for most of the event. And then as teams drop out of this top 16 and lose, they will fall into pool play. Pool play will last most of Saturday until we get to Saturday night when we have a double elimination under the lights. And the double elimination seeds are based on your pool play results. Double elimination all the way till we get to 12 teams remaining. Those top 12 will then come back Sunday and play for the national championship. Everybody else who doesn't make Sunday will play in the National Players Cup, which yours truly has won several times. That means we are the best of the worst. And I'm okay with that because you know what? I have plaques in my room and I'm excited about it.
Hardware.
Hardware's big.
Hardware.
All right, so I guess let's get started.
Yeah.
First matchup. Should we start with the first matchup of the day right here? Number 16.
Versus number 16. Game over, number 1.
Cinderella story.
Against the 16 Enemy.
Wow.
Cinderella story.
The
Cinderella story.
Yeah, the 16 seed could upset a 1. Who knows?
They could.
I'm not counting them as a 16
And why is that?
because they just won the national championship last year.
But,
and they've won like 40 of them. So
I don't think we've had 40. Well, the Enemy definitely did not have a strong season this year. But, they showed up to 5 events. It's not like they are like, the suspects of State of Mind that didn't play in as many events as usual and didn't get that many points. They showed up to 5 events, and they got beat by a lot of teams this year. They didn't make a Final Four. Therefore, they obviously didn't win. They definitely went 1-2, 0-3, maybe once or twice. So I think this is a different Enemy team that we're experiencing this year. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to come up and play like a 16 seed. I'm sure the Game Over is kind of frustrated that they're playing the Enemy. I'm sure as the 1 seed in the national event, you didn't think you were going to face the Enemy. But I don't know, Rob, what are your takes on this event, on this matchup?
Well, I kind of agree, but it's not a matchup you want if you're Game Over. It's not much of a reward as a 1 seed, but hey, you got to beat the teams in front of you. I think they know that. it is what it is. I think someone's got to get stuck with them. It's happened the other way many times where the team that sneaks into the event is like, well, I'm going there to lose to the enemy. You know what? For once, the tables are flipped a little bit, and they get a tough matchup, and deservedly so for them. Doesn't mean that Game Over deserves the tough matchup, but hey, that's where the enemy finished in the standings, deservedly so. So,
yeah, I agree with that. I don't know, Phil, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, I haven't seen much of Game Over this year. You have.
Yeah, well, they played just as a 2. There was no Pucci. It was just Haverty and Flynn. And we hit Flynn pretty good. Flynn's a good pitcher, but, his knuckleball was not as effective as it could be, and we really just hit him pretty good. But, adding Anthony Pucci back to the lineup, that's definitely a really good team. So, I don't know.
Yeah, all three, they won the regional title as a 2-man.
Excuse me.
Very questionable. But
Wow.
Any combination of those 3 is a top team any day. That's more my point. So with all 3 of them there, they'll be there.
Well, we know the 3 players, just excellent players. So it's not like the enemy's going in as a 16 and the 1 seed saying, wow, we got to play them. Mm-hmm. I think this year it's the enemy saying, okay, we got to play them.
They have a tough matchup.
So
Yeah, they have a tough road. I agree.
how much did Pucci play all year? Does anyone know?
Let's check it out. I don't know. Let's look and see what they think.
I'm just
I was
curious.
just looking at the enemy numbers, and really, as a team, they hit 22 home runs this year, and I think we've had years where in one event they've hit 22
I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
top 8. They were within the top 10, but lower there.
Agreed.
It's going to be tough. It all depends on pitching matchups. Who's going to throw who?
Well, who do you think the enemy would throw in this game?
Kevin.
Yeah, definitely, right? I
Yeah.
think they're going to throw Kevin.
Yeah. But, all year they've been using Ty heavily. Hopefully this is the point where they just say, we got to do what we got to do to win. And if it hurts us, for any of these teams that are here, you need to win 2 games. You got to get through your first 2 games, and the rest is gravy, because you could be in the Final Four, lose that game, and hey, your day's actually over, but you're still in Sunday. That's what we were last year. We played 4 games. It was all right, rest up, now we're ready to go. We're a top seed on Sunday morning, no big deal. There's still incentive to continue to play, win those games. If you're in the Final Four, my gosh, you're sitting there till noon the next day.
I think it's the most intriguing first round matchup we have.
I agree, because they definitely, both teams don't really reflect I guess the Game Over could reflect the 1 seed, but the enemy definitely don't reflect the 16 seed.
That could be the national final. It could be a Final Four matchup by the end of the day.
I agree with that.
These are 2 teams that have gone very far. So
Yeah. Who do you like?
enemy. It's just so hard for me to pick against them.
That's so not nice for them. Here's my problem. I don't want to say anything too negatively about Game Over, but I feel like you got a couple of guys in that team that might be overthinking the fact that they have to face the enemy going into this game, and I feel like they've already lost before they even showed up.
Wow.
Because they're like, wow, we have the enemy, and they already have this negative mindset
I'm
going
just
in.
pissed off that they got to play them to
Right,
begin with.
and it's going to be in the back of their mind the whole time. Oh, I can't believe we got stuck with the enemy this year. We won the 1 seed, yada, yada, yada. And I think they're already going in with this defeatist attitude, and I think it's going to be tough to then overcome that. So I think that's why the enemy would win. Not necessarily because the enemy's a better team, but I think Game Over is going to come in with this defeatist attitude, and I think the enemy probably will beat them. Wouldn't be probably 2-1. Some low-scoring solo shot here, solo shot there, maybe a dirty single for a run, 2-1. I think that's it. What do you think?
This is a really tough game. The enemy come out slow when they start. Game 1 in events, to have a game of this caliber to start. The Massachusetts guys are on their home turf, if you would. A little closer to home, not traveling. Who knows what Daddy Handal has to do to get the other 2 buffoons to the field. On time, prepared, fed. The whole deal.
Yeah,
we know their old business once they're there. They've enjoyed themselves this year, I think, at times too much to where, it's affected their play. But they know what they need to do this weekend.
Yeah, but this is it now. Now they know.
I'm going to take the homer pick and take the enemy.
That's fine.
I'd light a fire under Game Over, and good luck still.
To answer your question about how many games Pucci's played, he's played 14 games this year. He's batting .387, and he hit 7 home runs in those 14 games.
Played at least 2 events.
Okay, played 2 events. I was just curious to see how much he played.
He played the regional week. I don't know if they. I don't know.
Okay.
No, that's
Did they make a playoff
Yeah,
stop?
they made a
Wait, so
playoff,
who
yeah.
didn't play regionals for them?
Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
Well, he was on vacation, right?
Vacation.
Unbelievable. No,
I still have his shoes, by the way, that he's asked me for several times.
Come pick those up,
I
Flint.
left them in Texas. Maybe I'll bring them.
I'm going with the enemy because of experience. That's
fair.
really it.
Yeah,
I mean, and I haven't seen Game Over all year, so again.
I mean, if you're game over, I mean, if you win this game, it's amazing. If you lose this game, it's like, yeah, it sucks because you're the one and you're out of this bracket. But you're a top team. You're going to be there again anyway. You're going to beat the enemy twice in 2 big games in the whole tournament. I mean, it's, at the end, when you're a team of that level in this type of a bracket, you can still snake your way through in whatever's thrown at you.
No doubt.
There's so many opportunities in this format to earn yourself buys through double limb and just be a top. And a team like Game Over needs one easy opponent, bring their run diff up, and they'll be there at the end.
Your day is never over until it's over.
I agree.
It's a Lou format.
Until
Lou
comes up to you and says, "Hey, you're in the Players' Cup." It's over. All right, let's stay on the same side of the bracket. Let's go to our 8-9 matchup. The winner will play the winner of the enemy Game Over game, and that is the Founders, formerly known as the Rookies, and the Players, finishing 9th overall nationally. I feel like we were in this position last year. I feel like we were the 9th seed last year, maybe the 10. I don't remember, actually.
Master compiler.
Yeah, again, master compiler from somebody who wanted to change the rules to allow all the events to count. So I'm not quite sure how I'm being penalized for,
You're not being penalized. That's why you're a mid seed. Wow.
Mid-seed.
We have not made,
mid-tier.
that's true. We did not make a Final Four. We went 3-0 twice in pool play and lost in the first round. We stink. And like I had said before the regional podcast, we lost our first game of regionals. You know why? Because we didn't hit. We lost 7-1 or 7-2 to DEK. Like, we're not going to win unless we score runs. Now, the Founders are an interesting team. They've played really one event. They've played a few charity events, some other nonsense.
Yeah.
They have a really good team.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean,
They've played together. It's been known.
Yeah.
They've done what they could to play.
So we've got Jordan Robles, who seems to have won every wiffle ball tournament up and down the East Coast this year. We've got Josh Pagano, who's one of the greatest players in the history of wiffle ball. We've got Ro Toastwood, who is a great player. And, of course, you have Golden Six president Lou Levesque on this team, who is going to make sure all those rules are being enforced during this game. And, I don't know, we're not home. We play better when we're on the road. I don't know. I like our chances in this game. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to lose, but I definitely, talking about matchups, there are easier 8 seeds to face than a team like the Founders.
Yeah.
But first game of the day, I think, we'll throw EA out there most likely, get a win. We're not worried about who we play in the next round because we're very much a win now mode. Like, we got to win our first game. Right. So we're not going to be like, oh, let's pitch somebody else. No, we'll throw our ace, who's been EA, and we'll see where we go. What do you guys think about our matchup?
Atlantic City has the Founders as a heavy favorite.
Oh, in that matchup specifically. Wow. I would say
favorite.
I would say the Players are probably plus 375 to win that game. Is that fair?
I just think that team is just full of guys that win a lot.
I agree.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh is like with royalty, and Jordan, like you said, he showed up to a lot of tournaments and straight up just won. He just finds a way to get there.
I mean, he played in MAW, he's played in Golden Stick, he plays in all these other Fugazi events. Like, he's wiffle tested, and so
he's a winner. And then there's Toast. What else is there to say about Toast?
Not much. It's a piece of bread.
There's a lot to say about
he's a burnt
Toast.
piece of bread. That's what Toast is.
Good player, and I love his passion.
Got good passion.
So I like the Founders. Whether they start Toast or Josh.
I smell an upset in this game. I really, I don't know why. I think Diori brings the intensity at the Open, and the Founders rolling in, thinking they're high and mighty. They haven't lost the game because they played one tournament. They're all really good players, but yards of anyone's kind of ball game kind of game, and these games go quick, and EA's a good player, and they're a battle-tested team over the years. It's just one game. It's not the national final.
Eric is another excellent player. So
You guys have played a lot. I'm taking the Players.
You guys have played a lot.
We've played a lot of games. We've played 44 games this year.
Wow.
That is from what I'm looking at, the third most in the New York region. Screwballs have played 47. Dark Knights have played 45. We played 0 backyard games, though. So we played 44 Super Qualifier games, 27 and 17.
10 games over.
That's not bad at all.
Good team.
Lou going to play in that game?
No. No
He'd
chance.
better.
No chance. No chance. Because he's going to be, I got to get the...
So when is he going to play? If they walk through the bracket, what do you think he's going to play on Sunday? Why is he there then?
I agree. Is he like?
I think
is it going to be the
playing.
Trotta effect where he puts his team together and then he just shows up in like the final four, gets in a bet?
I'll say it to the camera. If Lou is not in the lineup, that's embarrassing.
Wow.
I agree. We need some kung fu pitching out there.
Wow.
No,
Pitching.
if you claim that's your roster, then go play with it. Don't dip and dab thinking that you have a better chance or a worse chance with a certain player. That's your team. Show some guts.
He probably will play against us because we both wear 47s.
Wow.
So we want to have a battle of 47s. But then after that, he definitely won't be playing against Game Over at the enemy.
Well,
no
chance.
guts.
No chance.
Unfortunately,
No
I've seen Lou get big hits.
And this is all directed at Toast because I
in
love
person.
Jordan and Josh, two of my favorite players of all
Wow.
time. I mean, Toast is the one who's just the mean guy.
We'll have a good song for Toast afterwards in regard to your relationship with him afterwards. That'll be nice.
I mean,
We slept in the same bed. He doesn't.
I'm sorry. That's who? What?
Toast and I slept
You
in the
can't
same
say
bed.
stuff like that about guys.
I don't know.
who
Me
live
and
south.
Toast have an interesting dynamic, to say the least.
Yeah, you
but
also have an interesting hat and hair combo.
he's
Who, him?
yeah.
He's got his summer hat with a bunch of roses that matches
his-
his tattoo from 35 years ago.
His passion is, I mean, he's an intense guy, and Jordan brings it too, and Josh is there to even everything out. So that's why I like them.
Final question about our matchup: will the radar gun be used?
No comment.
Pagano flirts with 45. Toast, we've already had to warn about 45. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it'll be brought out for EA.
That's fair. All right, let's keep going down the line here. We got our 4-13 matchup: the Dark Knights of New York and the Lot of New York. So we have a nice New York on New York crime going on here. Dark Knights definitely we're talking about Cinderella seasons. They probably had their best season on record. They won a super qualifier. They made it to a finals. They upset the enemy at regionals. They just had a great year. They had the second most games played, 45 games. They won 27-18, 57 points, adjusted to 72 points, second in New York before regionals. And you have the Lot, another team that's played 45 games, under 500 though, 21-24 in the year, 39 total points. 10-11 when they've been the home team, 11-13 when they've been the road team. They're the road team in this matchup. I don't know. I think that I don't know. I'm not really sure about this matchup because I feel like this is a pick'em. But I don't know how I don't know.
I'm going with the Dark Knights.
You go with the Dark Knights.
Yes.
Any reason why?
Yeah. It's just Sean's driving up Saturday morning.
Yeah. What is that?
That's why. That's why they're going to lose.
Well,
He's gonna
used
get out
to
of the
not
car.
sleeping at night, so it's probably fine.
He said,
Yeah.
well, that was his rationale. Well, I'm awake at that time. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you're driving 4 hours.
He's normally sleeping during the time of that game. That's their problem.
That's true. Well, I don't even think it's that. It's just that you're going to sit in the car for 4 hours and then get out, stretch, and have to go pitch an important game. I just don't know how
we
that's...
did it when we were 20, not 30 plus.
I mean, he's a really good pitcher, and he can win that game, but I just don't think driving and playing is smart. So I'm going with Dark Knights because they're a really scrappy team, and Sean doesn't really have like devastating stuff. You can just poke the ball the other way.
McRae 10-8 on the year, 2.04 ERA, 66 and 2
wow,
innings
it's
pitched.
higher than mine.
I mean, impressive numbers, but
10-8 though. That means he's not getting a lot of run support. If he's only giving
that's
up,
true.
his ERA is
Well,
2.04.
He's
got 8
also,
losses.
he's pitching against the best teams, the best lineups.
Very
They
true.
could be 1-0 law. They lost to the Founders 1-0. He pitched
he
fantastic.
did. He pitched great.
96 strikeouts on the year. That's a lot of strikeouts.
The question is not whether or not he's going to pitch that well. Is he going to pitch well enough to win?
I honestly think the Lot can have a very easy chance to win this game.
Well, that's why I think it's a pick'em.
I think the Dark Knights are intimidated by a veteran lineup like the Lot. They're just another team in terms of the bracket and what their season was like. But look at the players: Anthony Caputo, Taco, Gerard. I mean, they're petrified of Gerard just by name and just
Not quite sure why.
what kind of a ridiculous person he is. They just know that they don't know what to expect. With other teams, they feel comfortable playing. It's like, well, we know what we're getting in that lineup. Peter can go off. Taco can be a handful.
I'm saying Peter had 14 home
Caputo
runs
is
this
tough
year,
up
so-
there, and then if Gerard is hot and in the game, and game one is about the only time you have Gerard's head on straight. So if you ride that, and I think the Lot are going to win this game.
Is Gerard going to be drunk during this game?
Yes.
No, too early.
Okay.
Too early.
I'm not picking Gerard.
I'm going to take the Lot. because I like pissing the Dark Knights off a lot. They love.
Well,
they love when I talk smack
they're
about them.
They're a 4 seed, but they don't have the pedigree to feel like they're going to beat anyone. They're just like any other team when it comes to this stage. Saturday night under the lights, give me the Dark Knights.
So you guys have
we beat them.
You
under the
have
lights last year,
3
just saying.
upsets. And you have 2 upsets, and I am going chalk.
3. Oh, you mean? I
So
would
far.
say 9-8 is an upset per se. I'm also going to pick myself.
I don't think
to
the
win.
Founders are really an 8.
Well, I don't think the players are a 9.
Well, I'm just saying.
I think we're a 12.
Yeah, and Founders are a 5. So
Exactly.
I'm going with Dark Knights.
All right, I'm going to go with the lot. You know what the lot too?
Yeah.
Excellent. 2 lots, 1 Knights. Here we go. 5-12. Raiders lose Diamonds. Like I said earlier, we're gonna have Animal from Lose Diamonds call in later, so we'll talk a little bit about this matchup. But really, we're gonna have Animal maybe break it down for them since he is on this team, and we've only seen the Raiders and Diamonds 2, maybe 3 times all year. So, but. Raiders, another great story. I mean, they're a bunch of young guys. Between LeBron and Prentice and Lopes and Briggio, thank you.
Really good.
I mean, they won an event. If not, I think just won one.
Just
right?
one,
They won one event, but still, I mean, it's been 7th floor and Game Over dominating up there. So for them to get up there and get an event,
They won one.
yeah, no, I'm saying they got an event
Gotcha.
and they traveled to New York twice. So they're battle tested. They can pitch. They can hit a little bit. They can field.
we gave up a lot of runs to them. We gave up like 5. I think we won like 9-6 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're capable of beating anybody, and this is to me another pick 'em because they face each other probably a million times this year.
I was going to say, what's the under? There's the prop bet for all the New York guys who don't look at the numbers. How many times do you think Raiders and Lose Diamonds played each other this year?
Wow, that's
under
a good
over set of
prop.
5.5.
That's a good prop.
Over because they probably played each
I
other 3
played
times. on an event.
every event and then either a playoff or an exit game every week.
I agree with that.
See, the problem here is that I don't know.
And then probably played in a New York event against each other.
I think they did.
Yeah, they did. I
It
don't
always
know.
works out like that, and then here we go.
I don't know much about Lose Diamonds. We've seen the Raiders. I've seen them a lot. We played them last year in Massachusetts.
Diamonds
I played
is-
them
They have
this year.
they have good young players. The Lose Diamonds are like a poor man's screwballs. They're scrappy in all kind of facets. They don't have the athleticism, I guess, of like a screwballs.
Oh, they
per
beat
se,
us in the
but they're
playoffs
like
in Massachusetts
Sorry?
last year or 2 years ago. Lose Diamonds.
They,
yeah.
they're good. They have good pitching, and they just know the game well. So they might make a mistake here and there. They might have a bad game here and there, but they're capable of beating
Collection of
any-
scrappy vets.
no doubt.
Yeah.
I agree. They're not intimidating.
And they're not worried about the Raiders.
My
If it was a
prediction-
random New York team with some talent that they don't know about, maybe they'd be in a deeper hole. But I think this is a pick 'em.
Wow, that's interesting. All right.
They've played Lose Diamonds 6 times.
Wow, 5.5 was a perfect number.
Let's say.
Twice the last event, and then
My prediction holds no water because I don't know
Do we
much
have
about
score?
them.
Do we have like a record?
it seemed I didn't look quick.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
probably was. I would say 3-3 to be honest.
yeah. Blind
Just guess.
blind guess.
Blind guess. I went right down the middle.
Yeah, we'll pick 'em.
Diamonds win, Raiders win. Raiders win. So it's 2-1. Raiders win 3-1. Diamonds win 3-2. And 4-2 Raiders.
Pick 'em.
1-0.
Pick 'em.
3-2.
Man, they know each other so well.
2-1. This is insane.
Wow. So
4-0 and 3-0 and 2-1 and
So
5-3. So I mean, I'm gonna you know what?
Raiders minus 1.5.
I'm gonna go with the Diamonds because it's the first game of the day. I think the Raiders might be a little bit of I don't want to say shell shocked as young guys, but I think just like we talk about the veteran presence of guys like Animal and guys like Test who have been there before. I think they can pull it together and win a game, and then who knows? I mean, Diamonds versus the winner of the next matchup. That's
Those 4 teams have like I said, you just got to win 2 games. So one of those 4 teams is going to be locked into Sunday by noon on Saturday.
I would love to see Lose Diamonds locked into Sunday.
No doubt.
I'm going to go with the Raiders.
So if you're the
know
lot,
anything,
you were licking your
so.
chops based on where you are, because there's a lot of good teams everywhere else. So if you're locked into
Not according to my predictions where the lot loses, but
well, if they lose, they lose. It's on them still.
Facts.
all right. And the winner of that 4 bracket goes to play whoever wins between Game Over, Enemy, Founders, and Players. So that's 4
Right, but
top teams
you're already
right there.
in Sunday by the time you get there.
Right, just a matter of
if you
where
make
you
the
are.
So if you win 2 games, you're in Sunday.
If you're in the final 4 of this, you're already locked into
Okay,
Sunday,
gotcha.
and you're one of the first 4 seeds.
It's a great.
It's a great incentive to win your 2 games, and there's a lot of opportunity to get yourself right back in once you fall out.
And this is why points matter, guys. You get into the top 16. Literally, you can play 2 games and make it all the way to the final.
You just got to get there.
That's what okay. I agree. All right, let's go to the other side of the bracket. We've got the 2-15, 7-10, 3-14, and the 6-11 matchups.
Yep.
Let's start from the bottom and work our way back up this time. We'll go right across. We have Bronx Royals against the 6th seed, 7th floor crew. I don't think they've ever faced each other. I'm comfortable in saying that. You've got this is a very interesting matchup.
I agree.
Because 7th floor is, you know what they are. They're Matty Griff, they're DNAP, and they're
is it Eric? Is
Stevenson.
It
No,
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
Is it Eric? Stevenson.
Let's say Gary, I don't know why. And Stevenson. And they've been there before. They have plenty of veteran experience. And I don't know. The Bronx Royals are young up and coming. They have a lot of who knows who's going to be on their roster. I hope it's not going to be. I assume
No,
Lee will be there.
it's not Fugazi. They have Vin. They have Bumpy. They have Pace, and then Nick.
No Freddie.
No Carlo Jr.
Freddie would make 5. So yeah, I don't know if he'll be there or not.
He's a 5, yeah. I don't know. I think to me this
Bumpy likes to sit.
This is a pick 'em because I think there's just too much unfamiliarity between the 2 teams, and I think that as much as I want to lean towards 7th floor crew because we know them, it wouldn't shock me if the Bronx Royals somehow beat them in this game. What do you got? What do you got as the line of the game?
I think 7th floor is going to win, but I think Freddie's like a huge wild card.
He's a really tough hitter.
He's just such a good hitter.
He's unorthodox enough that he's someone who'd beat and these guys are like the typical wiffle ball guys, the 7th floor, Matty and DNAP. Like, they know all the tricks. But to see such an unorthodox kind of hitter, he hits differently than most guys, and he gave Tom a lot of trouble when we played them in the regional playoff. I don't think it's pick 'em. I'd still give the edge to the 7th floor.
Did we get Freddie out in that game?
I don't think so.
All right, hold on, guys.
And we got to pause for a second here.
Cut out for a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
Are we still going? Are we still going live? Okay, cool. All right, well, so we'll keep going a little bit, I guess, right? Or should we wait?
We'll stall a little bit.
Maybe we'll give that phone number out.
We're good. We're good.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's finish up these matchups.
I like 7th floor, Matty and DNAP.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious who they're going to pitch in that game. I would think they would throw Matty and save DNAP for the winner of the 10-run rule Lemonheads matchup.
Could be. I agree.
Matty, I mean, I know I don't know. I'm interested. I like 7th floor.
I go with 7th floor, but your points make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Unfamiliarity in a yard game is, field conditions.
First game of the day.
First game, there's a lot that can happen.
And everything out of Stevenson that I've seen at the Open was just like a big hit machine.
He's the clutch.
He's so
ridiculous.
scrappy.
No doubt.
He knows what he's doing.
He really is the perfect third for that team because really everyone just thinks it's going to be Matty and DNAP the whole time, and all of a sudden Stevenson comes up to you first.
Right,
and
he's the
second.
guy you can't throw
He's the one
strikes to.
ripping a
He's the one
double.
who hits them the other way. He's the one he's a great in the
Someone
field.
tried to explain to me that he was a journeyman, and I'm taking it back a little bit because I don't think that's the case. So.
Well, he is in terms of he doesn't pitch, and he is limited in terms of he's a good hitter, but he's not hitting a bunch of home runs. He's not slugging. He's just a good.
Sometimes you don't need that in yard.
No, I agree, but that's like the definition of a journeyman type player.
Yeah, you just need base
They're
hits
not
in
supposed to be. They're supposed to still help.
I like him a lot as a player, and I think 7th floor got the edge.
Right, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. All right, so
But
you said
Bronx
7th
Royals
floor? You
first
said 7th
open.
floor?
Yeah.
I said 7th floor. You said 7th
7th
floor.
floor.
It is the Bronx Royals first open. They did not play last year. That's true. It's a wild game. I'd watch that game. I think that should be a live
I agree.
game because that's
a
two
great
different worlds. You have the old Palisades world and you have the old Golden Stick world kind of getting together in a matchup there. It should be really good.
I
All
like
right,
it.
moving up, we've got the 3-4 team. We've got 10-run rule versus the newest team in Golden Stick, the Lemonheads from New Jersey, who were questionable up until a few days ago if they were actually going to play. But Ray Lutic of the Lemonheads was able to work out some scheduling things with school. He was able to get it to work, and the Lemonheads will be there. And they're a dangerous 14 seed. They beat 10-run rule
They're the ones who
at
knocked them out.
regionals.
They were in the regional
So
final.
This is a nice rematch. I think we all would like to see. I don't want to say that I think Lemonheads are going to beat them again. I wouldn't be surprised. Based on what we've heard about 10-run rule, they might not be at full strength the first game. So I don't know. I don't know if the Vegas odds have changed
They
based
might
on
have
the
to
recent
come off. They
information.
might have to come off the board. I mean,
I think it depends on who they're.
I think there's
who
too
their
much
roster's gonna be.
unknown right now. I mean, I mean, we should disclose. Are we going to disclose this information?
Yeah, we'll disclose it right now. Anthony Cerichello, who's the owner of 10 Run Rule, is going to be late to the Open. He, as for people who know, works in the medical field. He was unable to get off Friday night. He'll be working Saturday and getting there for around noon, which means if his team advances to the Final Four, he'll be available. We don't know who the third is going to be, and what we've had in the past, if a team places a 2 at an Open like this, there's a penalty.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. There will be a body there, I believe, is the end scenario, even if it's a mannequin.
Okay.
We used it in Palisades before we had the cardboard cutouts. We used that
That's
one.
fair. Well, with that being said, you know that then 10 Run Rule is obviously going to throw Stan. Lemonheads will probably throw Ray. And that's a very good matchup. I like 10 Run Rule's chances even as a 2 because Gary and Ben are still unbelievable hitters. I think that's going to be a very, very offensive game despite the 2 good pitchers because of how good their offenses are. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 9-8 slugfest.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously hit Ben pretty well at the last couple of events. They've seen him a few times now. This pitching matchup could go crazy too. They could just say throw it, and it all depends on. They can get a sub who's a good pitcher, or they could have just a body that's just there, so they are allowed to play. Like I think we need to keep, the spirit of what we're trying to do here, kosher and mandate that everyone does have these bodies. They've had enough time to make a decision, and they have to find a body. So. We'll make sure that's the case, and once Anthony's there, it's not a problem. Like I said, there's a million ways to get in and out of this into Sunday, so they'll be fine in the end.
I was just pointing out to Phil that the matchup at regionals was an 8-7 Lemonheads win, so I guess 9-8 is not too far off. Yeah. True in a 7-inning game, very true.
But they got plenty off Ben. They came back, and that game went to extras. That went to an 8th inning.
Last time I picked against the Lemonheads, they all yelled at me. So.
You going with the Lemonheads?
No, I didn't say that.
I think you going with the Lemonheads.
I did not say that.
I think you are.
I don't know. I got to shout them out. But
I think you are.
I don't know. I don't know 10 Run Rule's situation. You guys threw this information at me.
This was only made privy to me this morning.
My odds
I'm not even trying to be sketchy.
They're different based on what's happening.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to revisit this matchup Saturday morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I really don't think you can make a prediction.
It's off the board.
It's off the board.
I agree. All right, let's go to our next matchup. We have the 7-10 matchup, who I can't read upside down for some reason.
Roughnecks, number 7, and Screwballs, number 10.
Thank you. Massachusetts Roughnecks of Tui and Scott Thomas and good talk. Okay, and Screwballs, which are a couple of Chechios.
Yes, who was the third?
And who is the Roughnecks third? Now I'm interested. Oh my God, why do we not know the roster of
They played the first two.
Yeah, but they played with Eric Anderson.
Boomer.
Okay.
I think it's just them 3. I don't believe they have a 4th.
Yeah,
because they changed rosters, and that was the team that
Right.
They cut.
lost Eric. And
Right, they're formerly known as the Yum Yums, now the Roughnecks.
Gotcha. Okay.
They also
Makes
won an
sense.
event in Massachusetts this year.
That is correct.
They're a good team. And I looked at the numbers. Boomer's numbers are pretty impressive, I must say.
Yeah.
Scott Thomas is really good. Tui is really good. They're a tough out.
I know Scott Thomas has had a lot of success against me, so
He's kind of a monster. He's kind of a monster hitter. He's a really good player. Catch him early enough before his eyes are beady and he's swinging like a caveman. But maybe he's a slow starter. That's about your only. But you got Johnny Chech on the other side. So
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of swinging hard,
Well, I think that's the underrated part about a lot of these matchups is that a lot of these, we play wiffle ball a long time. A lot of teams are very different at 9:30 in the morning versus 3:30 in the afternoon. So I think I would give the edge to the Screwballs in a morning game.
right off the mimosas Saturday morning,
couple
fresh
of
out of the
Bloody Marys.
casino from the night before. I mean,
They're
come on.
stretched, they're limber, they're warming up since 6:45 in the morning. I like the Screwballs in this matchup, not because I was at their house yesterday, not because they're Italian, not because I'm well fed by them, but I want to see them win. No offense to Tui and Scott Thomas, I like those guys, but I want to see the Screwballs make it to Sunday because then they have more time to go to the store and get sandwiches for us and make us lunch. I like the Screwballs.
I have the Roughnecks. Typical Screwballs game. They won't be out of it until they're out of it.
Definitely not. Screwballs 25 and 22 on the season.
My guess is they would just throw Tui right away, just trying to get into it. Scott doesn't really pitch. Boomer pitches. I haven't seen him in years, and he's an adequate pitcher. I think his numbers are actually very good. So,
Did the Screwballs go with Jerry first game? and
don't
save
know.
Johnny for a win, or do they go with that? That's what the interesting part about this. Like the first win is so important because it really does dictate the rest of your tournament. Do you want to chance it that you win the first game with your lesser pitcher and save your best guy for the second round and the finals, or do you, like a team like us, is like, we got to get the win right away, and then we'll figure it out.
Well, we should let it be known that there's no back-to-back in these. That's what we're saying. We're not pitching back. You're not starting the same pitcher in these first two rounds. Once you get into the final four, they're golden games. It does change. It'll most likely reset. I don't have a definitive answer, but it's pretty separated after those two rounds because all those four teams are in. Whatever you do from there is really.
The Screwballs are an interesting team because out of nowhere you could have bases loaded, nobody out. But it's like all of a sudden, wow, one hit, oh, there's 2 runs, and still no one's out, or there's 1 out, and they have a rally cooking out of nowhere. So
They do spray the field a lot. I mean, Johnny has a lot of power, but he can hit the ball really anywhere it's pitched. Jerry is very good at going the other way. Coop is a wild card. Coop can hit for power. He can hit for singles. He can also strike out a lot. So I still like the Screwballs in this game.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
I agree with that.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game.
So that means you think that Tui's going to pitch then?
Yeah?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the Screwballs.
That game-
I like
could
the
be-
Screwballs in the morning Saturday more so than I do
Right.
like them Saturday night, most likely, just based on that same thing. You know, they're ready to go early in the morning. They may not be later in the day, and especially Sunday. You know, they don't have Richie anymore, so they're down on R. I mean, JR's pitched well this year, so they're actually using him a lot more than they have. And when they had Richie, they really weren't using JR.
No, not at all. I played a little one-on-one against JR yesterday, and he was throwing this like fadeaway pitch. And I was very interested. He literally just like hops up and then fades away back to the second base and throws this
Was
drop.
it 18 miles an hour?
Oh my god! And I couldn't hit it, which because I'm not good. But I mean, like he just
Jury's still out on that.
yeah.
pitch.
But I don't know. He looked good yesterday. He looked like he was throwing some other stuff that I didn't usually see from him.
Well, he's a master of his craft. They're out there working, and that's
Yeah.
why
They
that's why
played
they're
for a
still
long
playing at
time.
this age. You
a
know,
long time.
They've been playing a
we
long
will all
time.
be very thankful for playing 20 years from now.
All right, let's get to our last matchup here. Then we're going to open up the line for some phone calls for a few minutes. We've got the 2-seed Hammerheads and the 15-seed Throwbacks.
LFG.
A lot of history here between the Hammerheads and the Throwbacks. They've been playing against each other since 2011 when the JD entered Golden Stick in that famous 2011 summer event. He's got a young team of Jake Baddock and Danny Mora, and he's got the veteran presence, the captain of Brian Winnie.
No more.
I said Dan Mora.
I don't believe he's coming.
Oh,
No, I thought he was.
I don't know. He first had asked me to drive Jake up because Mora might bail, but then he said it was all good. I hope Mora doesn't bail.
I was almost positive that Mora was going to be there.
Yeah, I think he will be there.
Yeah.
And then you have the Hammerheads. You got you two. You got Polly, who finally showed up and played an event. And you guys won regionals. So
We did.
This is an interesting game because JD, wants the ball, but I think the best option is actually to throw Jake against you guys. But is JD going to let that affect him, or is he just going to be like, I'm going to save
I think
myself for the second
things
game?
change if they have Mora too. I mean,
Yeah.
Mora is there. Mora I think is more the option than
That's also true.
Jake.
I love Winnie, but he's a very streaky hitter. He can either be super on or super off. JD's at his best hitting season all year. He's a scrappy singles
He
guy.
knows how to hit us. He can
I
hit
don't-
Tom,
yeah,
he can hit
yeah.
me, he can fit Phil. It doesn't matter.
But who on the Throwbacks is going to drive in runs? I think that's
Jake.
been their
Jake.
issue all year.
Jake.
Jake,
Okay.
John. I mean,
They had
hope
let's interrupt you.
they
They had
bat
110 runs scored. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Would they have runs per game? Because they played a lot of games.
This is runs scored.
I hope
So they played 100 and-
bat 4.
I think they will.
Let's see why not.
I mean, they have benched people in the past. They benched Moore when they faced us because Moore wasn't pitching. So they may bench whoever is not pitching. Maybe if Moore pitches, then they may bench somebody else.
like I already said it.
I just mean me
bench
personally,
guys.
because if I pitch that game, I want to see 4 people.
You don't bench guys.
Obviously.
You don't bench guys game 1 Saturday in the Open. I mean, I know it's a game you got to win.
Politically, yes, but we're also talking about win 2. and-
Coach, I don't question the owner's decision.
No,
Never.
no.
And
Who knows? Maybe the Hammerheads goes to 2 game 1.
Only if we're
take the
allowed.
3
You can
runs.
sit.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to go chalky. I like you guys in this game. No offense to JD. I just think that Polly is too much, and I think you've played really well. You're just there. But
Wow.
I just think that you guys have a better chance of winning that game. I don't know. You guys won the region. You guys had a good season.
I show out at the Open.
I'm going to keep saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah, I mean, the Open brings out a different energy, especially, and we really don't have to do any like setting up in the morning, so like we can be really focused on actually playing.
I hope that's the case.
So,
I do too.
That's nice when you can just go up.
I'm here to enjoy myself as well. We're here to compete, which is like the best part of this, but the also side part is that hey, we're all going up together, enjoying the weekend together. So I hope there's some plans Friday night or Sunday night and in between, whatever. We're all here all weekend.
Jerry Chechia, we've got steakhouse agendas on Friday night.
Wow,
so that's nice.
Okay,
I like a good meat slab.
So those are our matchups for the top 16. We're going to hold off on the wild card event because I think there's still
14 other teams that will be starting in pool play at the Open.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stop the Instagram feed and we're going to continue with the Facebook. We're going to open up the phone for some calls. My phone in the front is the Instagram phone. We'll put the phone number out there. My phone number is. This is dangerous. Ready? 516-640-7211 will be the number you can call. Again, 516-640.
We'll post it in the comments as well.
11. We will post it in the comments. So we're going to stay rolling on Facebook Live. We're going to take like a 30-second break while we're sitting here just to set that up, plug in my phone, and then in the meantime, I guess we should just engage in some witty banter.
Witty? That's a question.
You like witty banter? Phil's going to get on his phone.
Questionable
He's going to text his invisible girlfriend that no one knows about.
Wow, Manti-Teo treatment. Oh, my gosh.
There it is.
Can you type in his phone number?
Poochie's the first person to call. Oh, my God.
Let's get Poochie on the line.
Poochie, hold on a second. I got to plug you into some device.
Yes, the device being the phone.
Can you go over there and type in his phone number into the comments?
You want me to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he can continue.
Alrighty, we are taking phone calls. We're live here with Anthony Pucci of the Game Over. Anthony, can you hear me?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, awesome. Nice. That actually worked. All right, Pucci. Oh, we got other people calling in. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to decline. This is amazing. I've never had so many people calling me in my life. All right, Pucci, what's going on, man? How you been?
Doing well. Yeah, this was cool seeing the podcast to preview the Open this year. Really, I wasn't calling to talk about any particular matchups or anything. Just wanted to hear your opinion. I know there's been some controversy in years past about this tournament being medium pitch. And this year, I actually purchased a radar gun. So just wanted to see what you guys thought on what effect that would have in the Open this year, being able to use a radar gun to climb.
I mean, all right. So thanks for the call, Anthony. We appreciate that. So I think that the radar gun is going to prove very interesting for certain teams, name the founders, that may throw a little fast against the Blaze. And I just think listen, we're all over this whole, like, oh, you're throwing hard? That's fine. I'm going to match you. And like, no, you need to throw 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, until they're throwing hard and you tell them and you say, it doesn't matter. In the rule book, it does not state 45 miles per hour. It is an agreed upon speed by administrators, not the two teams that are playing that decide to match speed. So we're not killing you to say, oh my God, your pitch was 46 miles an hour. But there are guys that push the limit, whatever it may be, agreed upon an actual number or not. There are times where the conditions change the way you need to pitch. I think we're all been playing long enough now that we need to, and we have a gun as well, which will be there. So
agreed.
It doesn't hurt. It's not the most accurate, but it does work.
All right, let's go to this next phone call. Please identify yourself before you start blabbering.
Yeah, this is the animal.
Oh, it's Animal. There he is, the lawyer.
Holy shit! I had to get in here. I can't swear we're on Facebook. Sorry about that.
That's
no
all
worries.
good.
No worries.
All right. So for those who don't know, Animal from Loose Diamonds is on the horn. I want to thank you for calling in. And what do you got? What's up?
Well, I'm doing this fast because my wife and daughter are gone because I couldn't bear for them to even hear me do this.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
So we're gonna do this quickly. You guys, you need to pick up the energy. I thought 3 New York people. I guess I figured it would be louder in there. I don't know. But anyway.
Wow. We gotta keep it PG. We gotta save the kids.
I mean, we're trying to make Wiffle great again here, Animal. I don't know if you can see this. We're here to keep it classy.
We're here to get the information
You're satisfying dozens of people right now. So keep it up.
Excellent. Decline.
Oh no.
All right. So Animal, quick word about
I'm going to go through. You're like a little bit off base on some of this stuff, so I just want to run through these matches.
Sure, please do.
I respect the audience. So first of all, you really got to understand that the travel is going to be a big deal. The traveling for the mass teams, we really appreciate you guys coming out. We realize there are more of you than us, and like it's great to be able to do it out in this direction. We really appreciate it that it's inconvenient for more people, but having 30 teams here, hopefully we can use this to like launch things, and we're really excited about that. We're excited to host you. We think we can have a pretty good time up here. Like unlike down there where it's kind of friggin' scary. Like this is like a nice place with trees and like
Scary.
Well, we are.
So you're gonna enjoy. You're gonna enjoy yourself.
It's East Meadow. My God.
I know.
Yeah,
It's East Meadow.
Listen,
That
come on,
Sonic
what's going on
has
here?
some
It's unbelievable.
unquestionable.
So anyway,
questionable people.
let me run through a couple of these. Like the fact that you even had this discussion about the 7th floor crew against the Bronx Royals.
Oh, here we go.
Like DNAP is the guy who wouldn't pick you in gym class and then drilled you in the face with the dodgeball. Like, and he actually has dodgeball titles and hockey.
He's got ping pong as well.
They win friggin' everything. I'm not going to be Homer, man, because it's going to be straight down the middle. But they win everything.
Mm-hmm.
The Bronx Royals aren't even the only Royals in your friggin' region. So forget about it.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That was something you say, forget about it. So forget about it.
More of an inner city thing.
That's fair.
The next one is 10-run rule. Like, they are obviously scary. I don't know what their team situation is, but like I think Lemonheads are probably headed to the pool play.
Wow. Animal with the hot, just coming in hot with these hot takes.
Lemonheads just beat them in regionals.
Goodness gracious.
I'm not gonna wait. I'm not wasting. Nobody wants to listen to me anyway. So,
No, that's false. We love you, Adam. What are you talking about?
Roughnecks against the Screwballs. I mean, to me, like, you put me in an awful friggin' spot, Rob, because I love the Screwballs. Like, they're one of my favorite teams of all time. One of my first tournaments, like 16 years ago, we played the Screwballs with an aluminum bat. I love those guys. And then you call us the poor man Screwballs. And how can I respond to that without putting down the Screwballs? Well, you know what? Animals high roading that thing, and you can say whatever you want. I'm not going to say bad things about the Screwballs. I do think that this game is going to come down to, like, it's going to come down to Tui. He's the athlete on the Roughnecks team. There's no question about that. If he can bring the energy, if he can pitch like he can, he's going to be all right. The other big factor, will Boomer, like, make it to the field? Like,
I agree. That doesn't come up in the
Boomer
stats.
there, and if, like, he stands out of the way and lets Tui do his work,
Yeah.
I think it's a tight one for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, it's one of those intangibles that Boomer does not have showing up.
I agree. Availability is crucial when it comes to the Open. You got to be there.
Yep.
Hammerheads and the throwbacks, again, like, I was so happy when the Hammerheads won. I feel like even though Rob's a bird person and I'm a cat person, I felt like we had this little fucking thing this little thing going. But then, again, he's got to take a cheap shot. Throwbacks.
Wow.
Let's go up to...
I'm a cat person, Animal, and I'm on the Hammerhead, so I'm with
That's
you
fair.
100%. So
That's fair.
So I'm going to save my stuff for last because that's what the people want.
I agree.
I'm going to go to the top. Game over enemy. I mean, as you discussed for 14 minutes, like, this is quite a matchup, and it's deserving of that much. Game over is like, I mean, there is no more. If you want to do, like, if you want to send something around to people to show that we're not like a bunch of pathetic, out of shape old guys, you
I
send
agree.
them game over.
No, that's fair.
They're a bunch of like prime athletes. Like,
All the muscle masses on one team.
He's not on roids.
Not much BMI
I don't know
on the
about
game
the rest
over.
of them. I don't want to make any assertions, but like they are strong and they are hard. And like, listen, enemy remains skilled, and they are, again, like, they're legends. And like, I'm going to believe in enemy till you show me Norris's head on a stick. But I don't know, man. That's just a scary three folks. That, the way that Pucci, I just got to go game over in that one. Unfortunately, and it breaks my heart to do it because these teams that have been around forever, I want to pull for them. But I love the game over guys too. They're good guys, and for the most part, we got to have a few talks with some of them, maybe.
Animal, listen,
Not me in particular.
Animal, as much as I love for you to go through the rest of these matchups, we got to get some other people on here. So why don't we just skip right to your matchup with the Raiders and the Lose Diamonds and give
There
us
it is. Raiders lose Diamonds. Like, we're both 500 teams, but lose Diamonds is like 1,000 and 1,000. The Raiders are like, 50 and 50 or
That's
something.
wow.
So, I'm like, in lose Diamonds, and look at this friggin' group that we got in. I mean, we're in with the Dark Knights, who, like, they have too
smell
many
blood.
Valentes. There's not enough genetic diversity there. We're in trouble.
And they were
the lot
homeschooled.
already lost to lose Diamonds this year. And I'm sorry, if you want me to take you seriously to make it to Sunday, then you have to have beaten lose Diamonds. So therefore, lose Diamonds are the favorite in this pod. But watch out, a mass team's going to win it, and I'm going to go right here and say 7th floor.
All right, there's your hot take. Animal, thank you so much for your time, pal. Alrighty, now we got David Rotos Wood on the horn from the founders or the rookies or I don't know, whatever you want to be called. So, Toast, do you have anything you want to say to Rob before we get started?
Yeah, you suck.
Here we go.
Rob sucks. Rob
Nobody
sucks.
likes you.
Nobody likes you. All right, Toast, have you flown up to New York yet? Or are you still in Georgia?
I'm still in Georgia.
Yeah. Is it
Big
like
Friday.
what's the weather like down there right now? Is it nice?
It was probably about 96, 97.
Wow,
100%
love it.
humidity.
Cool.
Great
Love
small
it.
talk. All right, let's move on.
All right. All right.
That's nice.
All right, so-
before I start, I got two very important things to say. One, Phil, back up from your mic, please. You're blowing everyone's speaker.
Wow.
Two,
I did not know I was that
Martin
close.
Truex Jr.
I'm sorry.
What was number 2?
What was point two?
I love his Martin Truex Jr. T-shirt.
Oh, my
course.
God,
Oh,
again,
my God.
the
Could you
Martin
be any
Truex
more
shirt.
stereotypically Southern for Christ's sake? Oh my
Go
God.
Dogs.
Go
Anyway,
Dogs. Jake Fromm.
Grow up.
anyways, yeah, it's super excited to be up there. Get to play foodie first.
Hell yeah,
Love
that's
the
gonna be a good matchup, man. I have a lot of fun. I haven't faced
breakfast
you, I
game.
think, since Savannah, and I don't even know if we even played each other then.
Wow.
I am going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say the radar gun will be on attendance on that field.
I will make sure of it. Not for you though, but for Pagano, because I assume he's gonna
That's
start
what
against us.
Wow.
I got first game.
Oh, well, you heard it here, folks.
Wow, all right.
It's gonna be
Wow,
Eric
letting
Anderson
us
versus
know.
Rotos right away. I like it.
Our
Yeah,
prediction
yeah.
was kind of spot
Wow.
on.
Cameras.
Vegas odds just all over the place now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I stand by my prediction.
That's the plan. And as far as I know, Lou's playing, so no excuses out of the players this year.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, you
Hey,
got-
well.
listen, the players already got the built-in excuse that our tournament is named for us, and that's the Players Cup. So like that's where we belong. But we're gonna try to change the dialogue this year. We're gonna try to surprise some teams. We're gonna try to get some wins early. And you know what? If I'm playing on Sunday, I want to be playing for the big one. I don't want to be playing for another Players Cup championship.
Before we let
Right.
Toast go, I know Bumpy also called you. So
Yes.
Bumpy, if you're still around, want to call back, we'll kick Toast off whenever you call.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Toast, you are a beautiful man, and I can't wait to see you again.
Toast, can you sing it with me? Ready? Nobody likes Rob. Nobody
Nobody likes Rob.
likes Rob.
Wow.
Thanks, Toast.
Mean guys.
All right, here's Bumpy Toast. We'll see you on Friday night. All right, pal?
Toast.
All right, he hung up. All righty, so next on the line, we've got Bumpy Martinez from the Bronx Royals. Bumpy, what's going on?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
I just want to know what do the Bronx Royals have to do to get some respect in this league?
I know.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I give you
Everyone's
guys plenty
telling
of
me the same
respect. Are you
thing.
kidding me?
You picked us to lose against the Storm,
Yeah. Well,
You're not
who we've
wrong.
never lost to ever.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what? I mean,
Hey, it was a one-run game. You could
Sometimes
have
it
lost that
happens.
game.
It was a one-run game. That being said, we lost to the Hammerheads last week by
One-run
one
game.
run. They
one
won.
run game.
One-run game.
Yeah, it's true.
We lost to
Tough out, man.
Jordan Robles and the squad by one run. They went on to win it. You know,
Wow.
we're just missing these games. We're hanging with
beat
with
us
best
the
teams in
first
league.
week.
I know.
Yeah.
We had some luck against the Hammerheads. We had some good games against you guys.
Yeah. We always treat you as a very tough out because you're an unpredictable team. You're very good. A lot of talent, a lot of veteran leadership, and that's why I said what I said against Seventh Floor. I mean, they have the talent, Matty and DNAP, and the pedigree, sure, but you've never seen each other, so I give you.
I know DNAP. I know he's one of the best players around. Period. I don't know the other players. I'm not too familiar with them. So I can't really say too much. But I just will say is that we didn't have too many tournaments where we had both Anthony Pace and Finlaya able to throw. Mm-hmm. And I think that's gonna be a big plus to be able to bring in a fresh Anthony Pace or a fresh Finlaya, late in the game. I think that's kind of where we've been getting hurt late in the game. That last inning, we lost a lot of games on home runs in the last inning or extra innings.
And what's important
think,
about these early bracket games, Bumpy, is that these are 5-inning games, unlike
Yep.
regular stuff during the season where it's 4. So you might need a guy to come in, the 4th and 5th inning to really lock it down because it's no holds barred in these elimination games. You can't be like, oh, we have another game. You got to win this game. So if it means bringing in Vin in the 3rd or 4th inning, you got to do what you got to do.
Every game is important, especially there's no real pitching limit like it is in a normal day outside of, you can't start back-to-back or something like that. But, I mean, you got to bring your best guy back in to lock down a game. Go ahead and do it. You waited all year for this moment. So I like your chances in your first-round game. It's definitely a tough matchup. They're really good players. But is Nick or Freddie playing?
Freddie's playing. There's no Nick.
No
He could
Nick.
come up for
Okay.
this trip, but
Freddie is
like we said,
actually
Freddie dangerous.
Freddie, very dangerous hitter.
Freddie helps you guys a lot.
His knee's feeling better. He had tore his ACL.
See? Yeah.
So at the beginning of the season, he was really limping around. Now he can swing and hit, but I might have to play the field. I'm not sure how well he can bend over, but his bat is back. So
Sure.
maybe Vin and Pace can throw a shutout or give up one run and or walk in a bomb by Freddie and really surprise some guys.
Hey, that's all it takes sometimes in
doubt.
big games.
No doubt.
Hopefully that's the case.
No doubt, Bumpy.
Well, I don't want to hold up the line. You've probably got other guys.
No worries,
Sounds good,
man.
pal.
I
Hey,
appreciate the call.
Thanks for checking in,
definitely.
Bumpy. Good luck this weekend.
We'll see you Friday,
All right,
Saturday.
guys.
See you soon, Bob.
All right.
All right, later.
All right. I like these guys calling in. This is
great.
kind of fun. I hope I didn't lose any of this
More than I
Instagram
thought.
stuff.
I'm actually surprised Dids didn't call, but
Well, Diddy's
he's a
it's a
non-whiffler.
2-hour time difference. He's probably watching the Mets.
Wow.
And, he's got agendas, bro.
He does have agendas.
He's
That's
cooler than you. And you.
That's fair.
Not me, though.
Right.
Not me. All right. I guess we'll hang around for another minute or two.
Yeah, if
see
there's
we
any
have a
other
phone call.
callers, call in now. Maybe we'll give the number one last time.
516-640-7211.
I posted it, so
Okay.
it should be
Excellent.
in there.
Oh my God, I can't wait to get so many random phone calls and text messages between now and eternity.
There's 8 people probably watching.
Yep. I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, see?
no more, 9.
Can we get a number? Can I get a number? Over under 25.5.
It's 14.
Lord. That's okay.
Yeah, all right, not
People
bad.
coming in, it's a long show.
We
got an
watch
hour
it later.
here.
Again, we have the good stream, the good quality that I'll post to YouTube by tonight or tomorrow. And this is fun to do, so we're happy
Yeah,
to do it.
and again, I
together,
want to
boys.
thank Joey Buss over here from Long Island Podcast
Yeah,
Studio for
definitely.
even
That's right,
allowing us
Joey.
capability
Much appreciated.
of calling it in. And I guess if we I don't really see anyone calling, so let's go around the table one last time. Let's give our hot takes on who we think is going to win the entire championship, and maybe a person or a player that we're looking forward to watching do really well. Let's start with Rob.
Who's winning the Open?
Who do you think is going to win the entire championship? Not just the top 16 bracket. Who is going to be the national champion at around 4:30 p.m. on Sunday? And that time is very much loose.
Yes.
And this is the worst thing ever. I'm going with the really, really boring pick.
Here we go.
I'm taking the enemy.
I knew he was
He's
gonna say
taking
that.
the enemy.
Yep. Okay.
So he's got the enemy going
I can
from
see
the
that,
16
100%.
seed, winning probably 3 games to get to Sunday, if not 4, and just sitting around waiting for Sunday.
They could lose the first game and have to battle themselves all the way back
Very
and
true.
still end up there Sunday.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I think no matter what you throw at them, they'll be at least the final 8. Once they've lost the teams they shouldn't have lost to this year. I don't see that happening this weekend. It's the safe pick. I'm not picking myself as confident as I'd like to be.
They're just a different team at the Open. So,
Well, we also have been saying that all year that they're going to turn it around, and every week they come
but
in
this is
and
the
they
Open.
don't turn around. Yeah, but this is also regionals, and this is also Super Qualifier 6. So, the enemy to me have done nothing this year to show me that they're going to change, but except for the fact that they have a history of being an unbelievable organization.
Bronx
But-
Royals win the Players Cup.
wow.
Wow, and he just called on asking for some respect, and you just said he's going to win the Players Cup.
It doesn't mean he didn't go to the final 12 and lost to the enemy. Hey,
The disrespect.
Who knows?
disrespect. Grow up.
Team do you like to win the entire thing besides the Hammerheads?
Hammerheads. That's it. All right. That's all I have to say. Hammerheads.
I don't have the stones to say it.
Nope, I'm
course
saying
not.
it.
No passion.
If we lose, we lose. But I think we're going to win. I've never felt more confident than I do right now about winning the Open.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. And despite the questionable roster situation going on Saturday morning, I like 10-run rule's chance to, if not win, be in the championship game. They've had an unbelievable season. They've only lost twice, 3 times. Twice? 3 times?
3 times.
Well, they lost to Dark Knights twice.
Knights and once to
Lemonheads, right? So I like their chances. I think they feel like sometimes I see this look in Serge Hill's face that he will not be denied. And as long as they get the right field location, I think I like their chances to win.
Yeah, wow. I think a team you need to keep an eye on as a dark horse.
Okay.
State of Mind.
Yeah, State of Mind's going to come through that.
We didn't even talk about the teams that aren't in the top 16.
I'm just saying,
no doubt.
I just wanted to throw it out there that they could.
State of Mind, suspects, game changers. Earl. I mean, Earl can make a run between having Red, Connor Young, and I think
Whitener.
their third is Whitener.
That's zero pass.
I mean, you got
Zero pass club.
Zero levels of pass, high levels of talent, though.
Zero pass.
Red has Pash. Red has
Red has pass.
And if we
Connor and Whitener have no
and I just want to throw someone under the bus. Johnny Whiff's the least amount of pass
zero
I've
pass.
ever
Zero
seen
pass.
in the history of football.
Johnny Whiff's is terrible.
He's
Zero
joined
pass.
so many teams this year. He's bailed. Oh, I've got this. I've got that. I've got some more of this. A little bit more
Zero
of that.
pass.
No
Wow.
pass.
Pash is limited.
No pass.
I'm really disgusted with Johnny. It's embarrassing.
It's unbelievable. The guy's got unbelievable talent. He's a great looking dude. Doesn't want to play Wish. Can't do it. Or Whiffs.
It's it.
Whatever it
Yeah,
is.
no, you hate to see it. It's not good.
Real quick, a player to look out for this event.
Let's see. Jake from the Throwbacks, I think, is someone that's really impressive. And for any of the mass guys who haven't seen Ray Lutic from Lemonheads, is the next, I don't want to say Kevin Norris, but he's the next top level player in the region between his pitching and hitting pedigree already.
Wow.
The guy's played half a season.
Wow.
Most of the season.
Did he just compare him to Kevin Norris?
Wow.
GG.
I was going to say the Lemonheads is a team because everybody's going to say, oh, ooh, look at these guys. And they're going to come in and everyone's going to say, wow.
I would say the same thing about the Bronx Royals. I mean, most people haven't seen Pace or any of those guys, so I think people are going to be very
Vinley is a stud
impressed.
as well.
Yeah, I think people are going to be
Very
impressed
good
with the Bronx Royals. Player to watch for, besides the Lemonheads.
Wow.
Not named Toast.
Not named Toast. Everybody we know, I mean.
So it makes it tough. You got to pick one guy.
Wow. Top 16 or everybody?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. Freddie was really impressive on Sunday. I think he's finally getting yard. Like,
Yeah. Well, it
medium pitch and
takes
fast
time
pitch are so
when you
different.
play fast pitch for so long, and then all of a sudden you want to come to yard. It really does take time to get used to the whole.
I'm
speed
gonna
change,
go.
everything about it.
I'm gonna go with Scott Thomas.